Once upon a time, when I was a little kid, maybe like 7 or 8, my mom took me with her shopping at Costco. And if you don't know what Costco is, it's a warehouse store where you can buy bulk goods, like a gigantic box of Cheerios, like an 8-pack of giant boxes of Cheerios. And being a kid, after a while of following her shopping cart around, I got a little antsy. So I went off on my own to go explore the store. I had this Millennium Falcon toy. It's like a little spaceship toy in my pocket. So what I ended up doing was taking that toy and I would just fly it around in front of me like it was flying around in outer space, and the aisles of merchandise became, the canyons of a distant planet. I got so caught up doing that before I knew it, my mom had tracked me down from wherever I was at the store and told me, hey, it's time to go home. However, one part of that story is a lie. I did not have a Millennium Falcon toy. I did not have a Millennium Falcon toy with me at the time. Always wanted one. No, what I had was this. You see, I don't know if you can see that. You hear that? You hear that on the microphone? Oh yeah, for those of you just listening to the show, there's also a video element that goes along with it. So if you want to check that out, you can see that I am holding up a quarter, a simple old George Washington coin that I had in my pocket at the time. Because when I was a kid, anything could become a toy. My parents, teachers, adults, they were always telling me, hey, don't play with that. It's not a toy. Sometimes they were right, but a lot of times I was like, well, what do you mean? Because for one thing, yeah, I am playing with it and it's pretty fun. And two, as a kid, I didn't like at that age, I didn't think of playing what I was doing as playing. I thought playing was a thing babies did with blocks. I thought I was just, when I had this quarter out and I was flying it around the aisles, like pretending it was a spaceship, I was, in the words of the original Pizza Rat, I was a kid being a kid. And now I'm an adult. Hi, I'm Sam Suxiri, Lego Master Model Builder and uncle to 4 nephews and a niece, all under the age of 6. So believe me, I think a lot about playing, a lot about toys, and how you can grow creativity in a kid and adults through play. This is the Untangling Toys podcast, a show all about all things toys and play, and help sort out the best way to help the kids in your life grow and thrive. Welcome to episode 1. This is episode 1 of the podcast. If you already know who I am, it's probably through my online videos, which are all like 1 minute in length, and this show is already more than 1 minute in length. It will be many minutes long, unless you're listening to it on like 25 times sped up, in which case it's already over. On this show, we're going to look at and learn about all kinds of things about toy and play. And even though I have a few ideas for the first few episodes that we're going to do, I'm really open to hearing your questions, your comments about anything you want to learn about toys and play. Just leave a comment wherever you're listening, however you see this show. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, YouTube, email, and then whatever platform you're listening on. So please reach out by sending us a message or commenting, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you got, what's on your mind. Okay, on with the show, and I'm really excited about today's toy because it's one of my favorite toys of all time. Being a Lego Master Model Builder, open up this box here, and it is another box. Whoa, I got it. That's right, the subject of today's show is boxes. Episode 1 for this podcast about toys is going to be on boxes. And again, those of you just listening, I am currently holding a very nice cardboard box. This is a 12 by 10 by 6 from Uline. They didn't pay me to say that. For those of you just listening to this podcast, there is a video element, a video podcast, a vodcast. So if you want to see what's going on with this cardboard box, you can listen to that. I'm, of course, going to try to make this so that way it's an enjoyable listening experience as well. But just so you know what I'm doing, I am currently holding a cardboard box. So why would I make this episode about cardboard boxes? Well, here's the thing. Just like with that quarter I was playing with in the aisles of Costco, boxes, toys, they don't have to be expensive. In fact, a lot of great toys you don't have to pay for. I mean, if it's in a store and it's for sale, you have to pay for it. Don't go stealing toys. But Like, toys can be things that you make, they can be things that you find, they can just be things that become toys. Don't worry, we'll talk about toys in other episodes, but the thing with toys and play is I think you want to have a good sense of play, and then you can have more fun with the toys that you have, or you can make your own toys, or just like the world will open up into creative playfulness if you're playing, whether or not you have toys. Just don't feel like in order to play well you need to spend a lot of money on toys. That quarter I was playing with, I don't know, it probably cost like 25 cents. In school, I would always doodle in the margins of my paper. I'd always build little cityscapes out of staples and erasers and pen caps. And even if my teachers were saying, like, you know, you're not paying attention, the thing was I was paying attention to the playing I was doing. Now, obviously, as a kid, I coveted toys. I wanted every toy that I saw on TV, but I didn't have them all. I didn't have every toy that I saw on TV. So I would take the toys that I had and I would play with them. And when I wanted to do more things, I would take boxes, I would take tin foil, I would take pieces of scrap wood or whatever I had and continue playing in more ways than just what I had. And don't think that just because we're talking about cardboard box, we're going small, we're going simple. Cardboard boxes can be anything. Calvin and Hobbes, a cardboard box could one day be a time machine, the next day be a transmogrifier. Man, I really like that big cardboard box Calvin had in the comics. It seems like there weren't a lot of cardboard boxes around when I was growing up. Like a really nice box was rare. Now everything comes in boxes. We definitely live in an age of cardboard. I think it's one of the most mass-produced consumer materials, cardboard. From childhood through adulthood, I've used cardboard, cardstock, paper stock to make all kinds of things for creative projects, for work projects. You know, it's like we're stepping up to a piano here, okay? So don't think that just because Chopsticks is a simple song that it's the only thing you can do on a piano. We're gonna get into some cardboard Rachmaninoff, some rock. We're gonna get into some cardboard Bach, some card Bach. I gotta remember to cut out the first joke I made because that one didn't make sense. And what I hope to show you by playing with things like cardboard, playing with really any toys, is that we're trying to get your imagination going. My hope is that by learning to play well, kids and adults will unlock a creative freedom so that way they'll be able to explore doing whatever their imagination comes up with. It's a really great starting place to follow directions and follow patterns and make things that way. But every single person has a unique world and a unique imaginative world of creativity inside their brain. And by learning to play well, you'll be able to express that. And then everybody gets to enjoy it. Or even if you don't want to share it, at least you get to make that thing become a real thing. Whether it's out of, cardboard, Lego bricks, songs, cooking, theater, engineering, whatever it is. The training ground for all of that is play. All right, so let's play with these boxes. But not here. There's not actually enough room here to do what I want to do. We're gonna go to my workshop. Again, this is episode 1 of the Untangling Toys podcast, a brand new podcast. So if you like it, be sure to like it, subscribe it, comment, make fan art, tell your friends. If you like the show hasn't happened yet, but I mean, after the show has happened, if you enjoyed listening to it, tell your friends about it, and that'll just really help us get going. All right, meet me after the ad break in my workshop. So many wires. All right, welcome back to the workshop. Let's play with some cardboard boxes. I've been building things out of cardboard my entire life. It's always been a cheap and available and pretty easy to work with resource. Let's see. This is just one of a whole series of buildings I made out of cardboard for a stop motion movie. I think I did this in high school, but this is all just made out of cardboard. I don't know if you can see in there, but it says Craft Stofers on that side, and then can't really tell what this was. This is that thinner kind of cardboard, more like cereal box cardboard. Oh yeah, let's learn some more about cardboard. Why? Well, I just happen to know a little bit about cardboard because my first job was working in a box testing laboratory where they would drop boxes and other kinds of packaging and wear other kinds of packaging out to see how long they would last in the shipping process. So I learned a lot about boxes. You actually weren't even allowed to say cardboard. You were supposed to say corrugated paperboard, because cardboard's not really the right word. If you don't know, see those wiggly lines along the side of the cardboard box? That's the corrugations. That's wiggly bits of craft paper. And that's actually what gives cardboard a lot of strength. So all those wiggly lines give it strength, and it makes it hard to compress it. So if you were to take cardboard and you bend it into corners, all those corners on there and all those flutes going up and down give it a lot of strength. So it'll hold up a surprising lot of weight, considering it's just made out of paper. Cardboard 101. This kind of thinner cereal box cardboard or paperboard doesn't have any flutes in it, so not quite as strong, but I think it is good for doing detail work if you want thinner details on there, or if you're working in a smaller scale. There's still cereal in this box. Oh yeah, and then as far as shapes, cardboard tubes, toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, definitely worth saving those for doing crafts. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Here's another model I made mostly out of cardboard, paperboard, foam board, and then other mixed media in there. It's a model of the Mechanical Hound from Fahrenheit 451. And then this was something I got really into. This is a cardboard cathedral radio, or like an old-fashioned radio. This was when I was working in a machine shop, and I got really into doing laser cutter stuff. The reason I made this out of cardboard is because I was making a mock-up for a version of this I was going to make out of wood. But first I wanted to make it out of cardboard just to see how it would scale, make sure all the proportions were right. And once I had assembled this, I thought, now that looks pretty good. I think I'll just keep it like that. And I just like the novelty of the fact that it looked like something old-fashioned made out of cardboard. I made a lot of these, actually. I probably made close to 100 of these and gave them to friends, tried to sell them, set a whole bunch of them on fire. Yeah. And I made all kinds of other art projects out of it. I made a cardboard Thomas the Tank Engine for my nephew's birthday, and I made another cardboard rocket ship for my other nephew's birthday. We definitely live in an age of boxes. I think cardboard is one of the most manufactured materials out there. I don't know. It seemed like as a kid, boxes were harder to come by, and now they're everywhere. So while I think cardboard is a great toy and a really great way to start becoming proficient at making things and playing things and exploring your creativity, you do need to develop some skills to build with cardboard. Not a lot of skills, but some skills. For the most part, I grew up using just two tools to make things with cardboard: a straight edge and an X-Acto knife, and then also adhesives, so hot glue, tape. All kinds of glue, anything to stick it together. And very similar to with Lego. It's like you come up with something you want to make, you decide what pieces you need to make it, and then you make those pieces, and then you make the final thing. Or sometimes you just do free building, either way. But here's the thing with working with some sharp tools, especially for kids at a young age, and that is, they're sharp. And while it is good to learn how to safely use all kinds of tools, including, blades, just practically speaking, where do you start out with? I know with my nephews and niece, they like to make things out of cardboard all the time. In fact, I had to save some of these boxes for this episode from falling into their hands. And while they love playing with cardboard boxes and making things out of them, anytime they've got to use the sharp tools, they kind of got to get an adult, get me somebody to supervise them. So today, what we're going to be looking at is a toy. We're going to be looking at a tool that lets younger kids safely play with cardboard and lets older kids and adults have more fun with cardboard as well. And that is... Hear that? This company is called MakeDo, and they make tools for crafting out of cardboard. And the unique thing about these tools is they're very kid safe. I'm going to read you what it says on the back of the box here. The awesomeness of MakeDo is that we learn by doing, creating, experimenting, failing, thinking, recreating, and maybe solving. Find some used cardboard, grab your MakeDo tools, and start exploring. The constructions then open the door to imaginative play where you, the maker, are protagonist in a hackable world of your own creation. I really like that mission statement, especially for a toy or a tool. I mean, is this a toy or a tool? It's called a cardboard construction system, so it's a tool for making your own toys. Inside the box here is your MakeDo kit, and it's actually its own toolbox. Almost. There's one step you have to do, and that is attach one of these screws through the hole here to finish the handle on your toolbox. And I really like that. I think there's this thing in video game design or gameplay where the first time you dropped into the game, they give you just enough information to get you started. Like there's a level that teaches you how to play the game. And that just invites you to embrace the mechanics of the gameplay. And I think by having that one hole right there for you to finish building the toolbox, it's saying to you, all right, you're gonna be making stuff. There's nothing else in the box. There's no instructions for what to do. There is a QR code on here for instructions and ideas. So if you do want to find some patterns for things to make, you can do that. But they're really, leaving it up to you. What do you want to do with your creativity here? We got lots of these sort of turquoise screws here, and then a variety of yellow tools on the other side. Hang on, I'm gonna adjust the camera. All right, so here are the make-do tools. You have 2 of these saw-like devices, a screwdriver-like device, and then a crimping tool, the fold roller. So the safe saw, this is kind of like a metal blade, although it's not really a blade. I don't know. It's not sharp. It's just covered in these small teeth, but they're very rounded metal teeth, very stumpy. And while they'll cut cardboard, they won't cut skin, but they will cut right through cardboard. Ta-da! Cut through the cardboard, won't cut my finger. It's a little bit of a rough edge as opposed to if we used an X-Acto knife. So it's a bit of a rough edge as opposed to an X-Acto knife. But I actually kind of like that, especially for younger builders, because by having it not be so neat and pristine lines, I think it leaves less area for you to feel disappointed if your build doesn't look perfect. By being a little bit chaotic, by being a little rough on the edges, you can just worry about building the thing in your imagination and not worry about it being so perfect. So I like the fact that this thing cuts in a little bit ragged through cardboard. We're not talking about perfection here. We're talking about play. So that's the saw, the safe saw. And then you also have a screwdriver. That's what you use to finish your toolbox. If you take 2 pieces of cardboard and you line them up and you punch a hole through them with the back end of all of the tools have this yellow kind of awl pokey thing in the back. Punch that through there. Makes a small hole. Then you take a screw, and these have like a sort of a hex shape to them. So this is sort of a hex driver. I don't know. You go in through the hole there, and just like that, we've now attached these 2 pieces of cardboard. It's a pretty solid connection for how easy that was to do. This is just 1 screw, so it can be a pivot if you needed to do something, make something that's going to open and close. If you put in 2 holes on there, there, now your piece is more riveted together and it won't move. And that's really solid. I like that because it was quick and easy, and it's strong. This is a strong connection. Before this, I pretty much thought hot glue was the strongest way to attach cardboard, and that's what I used when I was making all these cardboard radios, was hot glue. Hot glue is hot, it can be messy. And the other thing is it's not reversible for the most part, unless you cut things open. But let's say you built something and then you said, oh wait, I want to go back on what I did. And rather than having to tear the cardboard or cut it out or start over again, you can back your screw out of there. Oop, that rolled off the table. This is a good time to mention that because these are bright blue, if they fall onto the floor, carpet, whatever, very easy to spot them and pick them up. So you can take things that you've made apart even after you built them. And besides letting you go back and change your design if you want to, it also lets you build modular things. If you were to take like a piece of cardboard and make it your kind of hole punching template, there, okay. If you had a piece of cardboard like this and you kept it as your template for the distancing, how far apart your holes were going to be, these holes are the same distance apart, and then I use this to, let's say, punch out holes over here. So I'm using that piece as my guide. So now I've got another set of holes that are the same distance apart. So this part that I had removed from here, I can now place onto here. Yeah, see? Modular. Make a cardboard modular building system. Have wings that could come off at one point, or, there could be a telescope that attaches on top of something and you take it off and put it somewhere else. All right, I'm going to go get that piece I dropped. Found it. So easy to find it because it's bright blue. And there's like a ton of screws in here. And then the other tool is this I call it a scoring tool. It's a fold roller. It says fold roller here on the side there. And it's kind of like a wheel, a metal wheel with spurs or like square bumps on there. Anyway, so what it does is it makes a line, sort of scores a line down the cardboard so that way you can fold things. There we go. See that line? Now we can fold right on that line. Make a corner wherever we want to make a corner. Or if we wanted to make sort of a tube shape, we could do that. We would just have to score a whole bunch of lines. Oop, hang on. Scoring more lines along this. And then we just bend it along all those scored lines. Roll it up. Now we've got a tube. And we can attach the ends of this tube together with some screws. Punch some holes in there. There we go. Cylinder. There's also two of these little ring tools. They're little tools. You can make a hole there, and then you can use the screw side of it. There. You see? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tools. 2 cutting tools, 3 screwing tools, folding tool, and then all of them have hole punching tools on them. So this is a really good setup for a whole bunch of kids. I'd say at least 4. I'm sure it's written on the box. It says ages 5 and up. So yeah, they recommend this is a good set for 1 to 5 kids. So these bigger screws on here, it says these bigger screws can connect up to 6 layers of corrugated cardboard. That's a lot. 6. We'll have to test that. And then the small ones, it says, can go up to 3 layers. We've got 3 layers. Punch through there. Ugh. It's kind of hard to punch through 3 layers at once. Small screw going in. And, well, by golly, 3 layers of cardboard are pretty well screwed in there. That's good. It's on there good. Those aren't coming off. Okay, 6 layers of cardboard. Not going to be able to punch a hole through all 6 of these at once. I don't think that's going to be possible. That seems much thicker than the large screw. Ooh, we punched through almost all the pieces at once. 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if it's going to happen. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a little tight, but yes, we have connected 6 pieces of cardboard together. They're together. The large screw will hold 6 pieces together. You know, one of the dangers of liking cardboard and boxes is you start to think that every box around you needs to be saved for some special who knows what, but it needs to be saved. My father is a box collector and I have clearly inherited that from him. All right, well, let's make something. Let's use these tools to make something fun out of cardboard. If you are going to make things out of boxes, you're going to want to kind of like, it's like preparing a fish. You want to clean them up. So peel off any tape, peel off any labels. This is a plastic scraper tool. It's like a plastic version of a razor blade. It's good for getting labels off of cardboard because sometimes the stickers will come off. This one might come off all right. Sometimes they won't, and that can be a problem because corrugated cardboard, oops, because it's basically just craft paper, the squiggly fluted craft paper sandwiched between 2 other sheets of craft paper or card paper. If either of those 2 sandwiching sheets gets ripped because you pull off a label, if it gets ripped too much, then the cardboard will lose its structural integrity. Oh, another great thing about working with cardboard, really easy to paint. That's another reason you want to get all the labels, all the tape off, because the paper will take paint very nicely. But the stickers and all that stuff, they don't usually paint so well. So yeah, prep your cardboard by taking off anything that you don't want on there. Okay. Got a big sheet of cardboard here. I don't want to give away my best secret, cardboard secret, but if you are trying to find lots of large flat pieces of plain cardboard. A good place to look is actually Costco. Bringing it back to Costco again. All the pallets of merchandise. There's usually these large, like 3x4 foot sheets or 2x3 foot sheets of just plain cardboard. You know, dividing up the boxes of Kleenex or whatever. And they've never really seemed to mind when I've gone in there and filled up a shopping cart with 20 or 30 of those sheets. If you're looking for cardboard, that's a good place to find it. Or you can just use boxes, because boxes are everywhere. This box is so big, I don't even think I can fit it on the table. Let's cut it down to size a bit here. All right, that's more manageable. Okay, I know the next step. Me sitting there thinking that was me sitting there thinking that was me coming up with ideas. What was actually going on in my head? I don't really know. I know I was thinking about the shapes of things and the future shapes of things, but it was really just a creative silence. And then I got an idea out of that. All right. And even though the edges are rough, I don't mind that, because they're all going to be rough edges. So there's not going to be any feeling of like, well, I didn't do it right because it didn't turn out super sharp and crisp. It's like, no, the way this works is it has a nice rough and tumble look to it. So what we are going to build is a castle. We're going to build the gatehouse to a castle. I already got these flaps right here. We might lose the flaps. I could probably use these as folds in the final thing, but just for this, we're gonna start with all. We're gonna start on pretty. We're gonna start no folds. The saw works a lot better in a top-down motion than pulling it from the side like I'm doing, you know. Which I think is good, because kids will be on their feet, you know, and the cardboard will probably be on the ground, and they'll be coming at it from the top, sawing motion. 9 inches? 10 inches? Yeah, 10 inches. Okay. Put a crease line here. Fold roll a line right there. Bend. And bend. Nice. Okay, now we need to put a gate in here to do that. So roughly find my middle there, sort of like that. Yeah, something like that. Now we'll see how this does at cutting a curve. Yeah, that's cutting pretty good on a curve. Okay, do the same thing on this side. There we go. Okay, so there's our gate. You know what we're gonna do? We'll add some windows. We'll add some windows right there. So now we're gonna try to cut a hole out of the center of some cardboard. So we can't go at it from the side. We're trying to get in there. We're gonna try 2 techniques. First, I'll just try punching through there with the tip of the blade. There we go, we got in. And now cutting out a circle. It's a cartoon villain cutting out the underside of the floor above him. There we go. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. The other idea was just we punch a whole bunch of holes all the way around. Okay, and then so we go in with our saw and open that up like that. There. Now our castle gate has 2 windows or 2 eyes. This could be a hat. You know, we could change up our mind. Next thing I want to do, put some towers on either side of it. Got another piece here. Just like before, we're going to take off the flaps. How tall should these towers be? I think I can get 2 out of this one piece of material. Yeah. All right. Roughly halfway across. Actually, I want to try something. If we use the scoring tool, will that make it easier to cut? Whoop. That was pretty easy to cut with the scoring tool. Next thing we need to do is give us a little space on each side. Okay. Yeah, this should do it. Score a whole bunch of lines so we can turn these into towers. Roll, roll, roll your boat. Join this together down here. Ow. I didn't actually hurt myself. I just said ow. There we go. We got one tower connected on that side. I'll do the other side. That looks funky. So I had this one tower that was kind of crooked, and so I punched a new hole for it, and then I bent it into place, and the screw can actually handle all that pressure of the bending and pulling it, which I really don't think glue or tape could handle without, I don't think they could handle it that well. I'm trying to clean up this line along the bottom of the castle. I know I said these don't have to be neat, but just want to make it a little bit neater than that. There's a screw under there, right where I want to put my next screw. So what I can do, take off my screw there, take out that screw, and then we'll just join everything together that way. Okay, well, that's looking pretty neat there. Neat, I don't know, neat, but yeah, it's starting to come together and all the little details. Let's put some ramparts. Then we got that on there. I think all that we need to do now is put a gate on. I think this is about the last piece that I'll need to cut out. I don't know. I don't really have a design for this. I was just making it up as I was going, building the pieces of the puzzle as I figured out what the final puzzle was even going to be a puzzle of, which is fine. That's, oop, I don't know if I can get off that little piece there. You know, that's the good thing about working with cardboard. It's such a plentiful and cheap material that, you know, if you make a mistake, if it doesn't go so well, hey, you know what? That's absolutely okay. Okay. So I thought I was going to make the gates of the castle open outwards like that, and even though they do, I just realized that because there's only one hinge right there, these gates could also swing open like that. Doop. Like that. Or like that. Yeah. However you want to let people inside your castle. Ta-da! And now there we go. We've built this little castle gate using just cardboard and our make-do tools. You could put other toys on here, and they could, you could play castle in there. I think this is a great tool if, you've got a kid and you think they'd be interested in making things out of cardboard and they're still at a youngish age. We're using, like actually sharp tools isn't in the picture. However, this would also be good for older kids who can use sharp tools just because of how great this screw system is at connecting things. Yeah, I could definitely see making the parts using, X-Acto knives and then attaching everything together using these screws because it's a really fast, it's a really fun, it's a really strong way of building things out of cardboard. In fact, earlier I built this helmet using it. I still used all the make-do tools for it, but it would have been a lot easier to cut out these slits in the visor using a sharper tool. But you know what? We still managed to get by. Maybe I should make an entire suit of armor out of cardboard. That would be fun. So the next time a box comes in the mail, maybe see what you can make out of it. But don't collect too many boxes. You want to keep a balance between these are boxes because they might be useful. And I don't know. I can't tell you what the balance is. I'm way off the other side of it. I almost forgot to do what might be the most important thing, and that's give a review of the Make Do Explorer kit. So I've got a series of rubrics for what makes for a good toy. These are my 10 tests for toys. My 10 toy tests. Test number 1, or question number 1. How easy is it to learn to use? Really easy. Kid could pick this up. Anyone could pick this up and figure it out without really any instructions, just by intuitively poking around with it. So yeah, I would say that gets a pass for sure. How easy is it for you? How easy is it to learn to use? Easy to learn. Number 2, can it be used in more ways than just the instructions say? Considering you really don't get instructions with this, absolutely you can use it in more ways than the instructions say. There is a QR code on the box where you can download instructions and find ideas, but I like how that is something you have to take an extra step to go find those, because I think they want you to first and foremost figure it out on your own. Number 3, is it long-lasting and durable? I'd say so. Yeah, I think these are all going to stand up not only to regular use, but also kid use, which I can't really guarantee kids won't find a way to break it. No one can make that guarantee. But yeah, these do seem to be pretty good quality tools/toys. Number 4, can it be used with other toys? Absolutely. You will probably want to use this with other toys. Even if that other toy is painting it, coloring it, I will definitely enjoy building things. Like one project I definitely want to use this for is to make race car tracks, Hot Wheels tracks with my nephews and niece. I also plan to make some Lego sorting boxes as well. Anytime you have a play need that cardboard could be a solution to, this will be the thing to go to. Number 5, is it messy? Well, the make-do elements themselves aren't messy, but yes, I've made a huge cardboard mess all around me. It's messy in that it produces a lot of, pieces of torn paper and bits like that. But it's not like that's going to be hard to clean up. Just put all the scraps in the recycling. Should be good to go. Number 6, is it expensive? And this is more like, is it worth the value for the money? And of course, this is a very subjective question. Make Do makes 3 versions of this toolkit. There's a smaller one that just has the screwdriver, the cutter, the ring, and an amount of screws, and that's $25. This one, the Discover Kit, is $50. And then there's a bigger one, which is like for a whole classroom of kids. $180 for that big one. So if you only had one kid, yeah, you could definitely get by and do a ton with their cheapest kit, the Explore Kit. I think it's worth it because of how it will transform other things to become toys. Like, yes, this is $25, but then it'll turn any boxes that you get into the mail into an activity, into a toy. So yeah, I think this is definitely worth the price of it, considering also, the durability and the how you can use it for so many different things. Yeah. And that also kind of goes into the next one, number 7. Will this toy grow with age and development? Will the child grow out of it quickly once they, age up? The only thing I think they would grow out of is the safe saw. That's just because they hopefully, if they like making things, they'll learn how to use other tools to cut cardboard. But I think they will stick with the screw system. That gives you so much power to make things out of cardboard. I think this screw system is kind of the equivalent to welding or sewing. Welding for getting to understand metal, sewing for getting to understand textiles. I think this screw system is a really great, really empowering way to be able to create things out of the material of cardboard. I think this one they will grow up well with. Number 8, is it trendy? I don't exactly know what this question specifically means. I just kind of know it when I feel it and I see a toy and I'm like, that's out now. And then it's gone. I think it's only trendy in the sense that STEM and STEAM toys are happening a lot. That's not to say that it's a fad. I guess maybe this question is more like, is this toy going to be around in a while? 15 years from now, if you want to buy more screws, will this company be around, or will you have to go to eBay, or are you out of luck? I hope they are around, and I hope that this isn't a trendy toy. I hope this system of play with cardboard picks up. 9. This is a question I'm still kind of formulating this question. Is it a kinetic toy? Are there any mobility issues while using it? Limitations because of mobility? And I think there are some. If you have trouble holding things, handling things, or if you want to build like some big things out of cardboard and moving around the space is an issue. Yeah, this could be. And I would also say that, like, we talked a lot about how this is about, this cutting tool makes rough edges. So building things on a small scale with fine detail, not too easy to do with this. It's more for making larger shapes, at least with the sawing tool. It's a kinetic toy. It's a kinetic toy that I think is more geared at getting up and moving to play with it. Kinetic toy. Am I even using that word right? Kinetic toy? It is a toy for using your hands. Number 10, does it teach something well? Yeah, I think it teaches open-ended creative play. Hopefully, I think, and this is something I think of whenever I see boxes or any material that I'm like, ooh, I wonder what I can make out of that, is you look at a box and you don't see a box, you see potential to make other things. And yeah, like I said, if you learn how to weld or you learn how to sew, then you don't look at the world in the same way. You see metal things as not just, I guess that came out of a factory, but no, that's how that thing was assembled, and I could do that too. Or same with your clothes. It's not just, these are clothes, they just appear in a store, but no, this is cut in such a way, and if I want to make a modification to it, I can. I think this is something that could teach kids and adults to start looking at materials like cardboard and think that can be other things. Or if I've got a problem, like I've got something in my closet, I've got a shoe stand in my closet that I made out of cardboard because I had this narrow space next to my dresser, and I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to put my shoes because I can't put anything else. Like, it's perfect space for shoes. I don't have a store-bought shoe stand I can put in there, so I would just shove shoes in there on top of each other, and then I thought, that's messy. So then I made a cardboard shoe stand because I said, let's make it out of cardboard first, and then we'll make it out of wood if it works. And it's still working, and it's still there, and it's made out of cardboard. Very similar story to the cardboard radios. It's not laziness. It's satisfaction with the outcome. I think this toy does teach you to work with materials and problem solve solutions and be imaginative. So yeah. I think it could also teach sharing. Every toy has the possibility to teach sharing. A group of kids could play with this, dividing it up as, you will be the guy who cuts pieces out, you'll be the one who screws pieces together, you'll be the one who folds the pieces. This does lend itself to collaborative play. So that's my review of the Make Do cardboard construction system. I'm a big fan. It's a lot of fun. All right, well, that is our first show. Yeah, that was episode 1 of the Untangling Toys podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned something and had some fun, and I want to hear from you. If you have any questions about toys, play, creativity, your own kids' playtime, toys you want to see me review, let us know. You can leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Yeah, leave a comment. Otherwise, we're on all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, at Untangling Toys, and you can email us at untanglingtoys@gmail.com. And of course, if you did like the show, you can really help us get started by liking, subscribing, rating it, commenting on it, and telling other people that you enjoyed it who you think would also enjoy it. I'm Sam Suksiri, and you've been watching/listening to the Untangling Toys podcast. Come back next week where I will be doing another deep dive into the world of play and reviewing another toy. See you next time.